Thanks for watching Sweet Tea TV. Please like, share, and subscribe. So, as we all know, the singer Prince died April 21st, and he was 57 years old. Now, I know there's been a lot of conspiracies about his death, some even saying that he was murdered. The Illuminati was behind it because Prince came out and he was talking too much and telling everything because he got fed up with being a slave to the industry. Some people also believe that Prince even predicted his own death. And so, speaking of predicting his death, Prince may have done that himself. Not once, guys, but twice. The first time, it was on his Instagram post, which had the captions, "Just when you thought you were safe." And some of his last words at a party had been interpreted by conspiracy theorists. Or it was something more pedestrian, like his belief that all elevators are evil. Did that do him in? On April 21st, 2016, Prince died at the age of 57. It was tragic, and to his fans, it became a bigger shock, and it lasted throughout the month of April. But leading up to his death, Prince wasn't feeling well. He was postponing and rescheduling all of his shows. He even went to the ER following opioid overdose. Prince left the hospital against medical advice, and a couple of days later, he was dead. So the official cause of Prince's death is an accidental overdose of fentanyl. See, for the world, that's what they chose to accept as what happened. Whenever a famous person dies unexpectedly, however, conspiracy theorists are sure to follow in. But not me. See, the truth can be made out to be a lie, and the lie can be made out to be a truth. In my opinion, Prince's doctor neglected him. Because see, due to my digging, in 2018, Prince's family filed a lawsuit against Dr. Michael Zuckerberg. They said that he was the culprit for Prince's death. And see, according to the lawsuit, Prince's family said that Zuckerberg neglected his duties in counseling Prince for his opioid addiction. And at the time of his death, Prince had hundreds of opioids in his home. The lawsuit stated that he failed to appropriately evaluate his diagnosis and treat it, and give counseling to Prince and recognize his opioid addiction, and further failed to take appropriate and reasonable steps to prevent foreseeably fatal result of that addiction. Did Prince predict his own death? Sometimes, usually by accident, people can predict their own deaths in an eerie sort of way. And allegedly, Prince supposedly did just that with his song Let's Go Crazy. So in the song, there's a part about dying in an elevator, which is where Prince's body was found. See, some people believe that Prince had a weird moment of a premonition and wrote the song about his death. See, like the elevator tries to bring you down, punch a higher floor, go crazy, and when we do, What is it all for? You better live now before the Grim Reaper come knocking on your door. Tell me, are you gonna let the elevator bring us down? He said, oh no, let's go. But seriously, did Prince know he was going to die? Even eerier than the song was that Prince said to his friends in the days before his death, he made a public appearance to his fans. See, after all, he was having health issues throughout the whole month of April 2016. And at the appearance, Prince said, wait a few days before you waste anyone's prayers. See the eerie thing about this? Right after he stated that, Prince was found dead a few days later. Still, with me, the apparent cause of his death does not sit well. And even I remember back in the day when the legendary singer Aretha Franklin, for one, she had one of her own theories speculating that Prince died from some kind of flu called Zika virus. However, that does not sit well with me either. See, just because like his death, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, all of these singers died suddenly and unexpectedly. See, I was thinking a different theory. It seems like some of these celebrities always die right before the award shows. The BET show is slated to air June 26th this year. Some reference that death of Whitney Houston, who died in February before the 2012 Grammys. And see, I added up because 1 + 1 = 2 and 2 + 2 = 4. Michael Jackson died just days before the BET Grammy Awards in 2009. Add it up, guys. Another thing I was looking into, Prince made a song, I Would Die For You. And it begins with the lyrics. Remember, we spoke about the lyrics. Always pay attention to a musician's lyrics and you can learn about that person. However, I Will Die For You begins with the lyrics, I am not a woman. I am not a man. I am something that you'll never understand. And see, although he's really thinking about someone else there, that's also the image he was promoting about himself throughout his career. They tried to make him a slave and he wanted to be who he was, and he was not allowed to do that. And that is why he had the sign slave on the side of his cheek, letting the world know how the powers that be took over his very life here on this earth before it untimely ended. But the question is who and why? Another thing, guys, I learned that Prince also seemed to have been quite a bit into mysticism. So for lack of a better word, at least he seemed to be fueled by this like conspiritual and mystic urge combined with the feeling of having been wronged, not only in terms of his professional life by record companies, but by society and by many people who had considered him to be friends and a lot of his music, like the Rainbow Children in particular, of course, also seems to have come from this anger or bitterness or at least frustration that he had inside. There is also something else that I noticed about Prince while he was living. Like, I seen a TV show he was on, and it seems as if he predicted 9/11. And this happened in 1998 when I saw this. Or like I said earlier, even him predicting his death twice. In fact, twice. So guys, this is my opinion. If we put all these things together, we can easily spin Prince's as a person into mystical sage who simply knew too much. So the powers that be had to kill him, just like they killed John Lennon and others and many, many others. This is just my opinion, guys. And so like the normal, whenever like these celebrities die under murky circumstances, So their speculations run wild, as mine did. And so, like I said, when something happens, such as a sacrifice or a cloning or a celebrity's death, it seems that the media tells the side of the story that they want to tell, and they leave out certain details. And sometimes they add details in, and people aren't really paying attention. So it's up to me to, investigate and look at the things beyond the surface and scratch the surface, and we get back to the top and see what we can pull out of it. But it just does not sit right with me, guys. The circumstances and everything leading up to that day, his actions, the things he was saying, how he left the hospital under the doctor's orders. Order. Pay attention to that word. The doctor's orders. Okay? And there was a particular reason he left. Because if he was that ill and he wasn't feeling well, people think they can go to the doctor and feel better. So something went on in that hospital where Prince had to get up out of there. If he went there and he wasn't feeling well, what caused him to abruptly leave against the doctor's orders? Pay attention to details, people. So I'm going to cut this video short. Leave it in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's more to this story. Like I said, I'm covering other stories. Like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Until the next video.